Okay, so welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to share the story of how I believe Carmax sold me a lemon. Okay, so this is how I began. I had a 2014 Mustang base model version. I bought it new off the lot from Ford, and I had the car for about 7 years. It was paid off. I wasn't making any car payments. However, it was giving me problems every month, and I had just started a new job. Remind you now, I stay in Houston. I started a new job that was about 30 miles away from my house, and my car started giving me trouble again. So I just said, hey, if I'm going to be putting money into this car every month, I'm spending $500 and $600. Then the latest repair was like $1,200. So I was like, I'm just gonna trade it in and get a new car. And so I was kind of in a rush to buy a new car. I didn't really take my time to like shop the right way, and I ended up at Carmax, traded my car in. I got a new Mustang. I got a 2020 Mustang convertible EcoBoost. Nobody told me the difference between a 6-cylinder regular engine and an EcoBoost engine, which is a 4-cylinder turbo engine. Had I known about it, I would have never bought the car, because I've heard only bad things about it. And unfortunately, I experienced bad things also. So, I bought the car in 2022. And 3 months, I purchased it in December. And I want to say 3 months later, the purge valve went out. So I was at work one day. I cranked my car up and the check engine light came on. Remind you, I just bought this car 3 months ago. And when I bought the car, I think it was like, I want to say it was about 37,000 miles on it. It was used. And so 3 months, remind you, I do drive. I bought it in December. Excuse me. I bought it in December. I drove home from Texas to Mississippi and back. Within the same month I got the car, because I went home for Christmas. And of course, I live like a little over 30 miles away from where I work. So I was driving back and forth 3 months. Like I said, I was at work one day and the check engine light came on. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just bought this car like 3 months ago. So what could possibly be wrong? I took it to AutoZone. They put the little code on there and they said purge valve. So I ended up taking it to Ford, because I don't trust nobody else to fix my car but the actual dealership. Kept my car for like 3.5 days, and I had to get a rental, but of course I didn't pay for it. I paid for it, and I think the total cost was like $370 or something. It was 300 and something, no more than 400. And so I'm like, okay, red flag. So I get my car out the shop, and that was in April. Now I want to say it was either March or April, but at the 3 months later, I was going to work one day and my check engine light came on again. And so I took it back to AutoZone, and they told me that it was spark plugs. And I'm like, spark plugs? Why? Okay, why am I having to go and fix this car so often like I was doing in my other car when I just bought the car? Remind you, the car was like almost $30,000. Okay, so I went to because I that was a Sunday and I had to go to work Monday morning, And so I knew if I took it to Ford, I would have to like leave it there for days. So I went to Pep Boys in Spring, Texas, and I told him I need spark plugs. And so he took my car back, and he said, he looked at it and he said, okay, I'm going to put some spark plugs on there, put some fuel injector cleaner in there, and it should be okay. And so it was taking a little long, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go to work. I'll just Uber to work and I'll come back and pick my car up. So I get to work, apologize to my boss for being late or whatnot, and then he calls me while I'm in my boss's office, and he was like, you got a bad engine. I said, a bad engine? I've never had engine problems with the car. Even my old cars. And so I swear I felt dizzy. Like the room was spinning. I thought I was about to pass out. Cause I didn't know. I thought I was just out of like $30,000. I didn't know that my car had a factory warranty on it because it was under 60,000 miles. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. So he told me, the man at Pep Boys told me, he said, he told me to call Carmax, and because he said, I believe the warranty is up to 60,000. Remind you, the car only had like 39,000 miles on it. He said I want to say the warranty is up to 60,000, and he ended up looking it up on the internet for me. He said, yeah, Ford's going to cover your engine for 60,000 miles, so call Carmax. So I called Carmax, and I'm like, you all sold me a car and the engine went out. And he said, you have to call Ford because it's still under Ford's warranty. So I took it to Ford, and they took it in, and when I say it took them like almost a month just to diagnose it and go through the process of filing a claim and whatnot. So the claim was approved. They started fixing the engine. My car was in the shop for a little over 2 months. So, remind you, this is 2 months. This is 2 months of no rental. I had to thank God my boss was generous enough to let me drive her car. She had an extra vehicle. She let me drive her vehicle for 2 months. Because if I had to come out of pocket the rental car coverage, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I'm still paying a car note. I'm still paying car insurance on the car that's sitting in the shop. It was over 2 months. So they finally called me. I put my car in the shop in June. I got it out in August. Ford had paid $7,000+ to fix my engine. And they only gave me a warranty of a year, and it was a certain amount of miles. So I ended up getting it was completely, I didn't have to pay anything, but it was just the fact that I was out of a car for 2 months. Like, y'all, that's crazy. And well, Carmax didn't do anything but draft their payments out of my account because I financed through Carmax. Okay, so Ford paid for it, and it was running fine until I think like 6 months later. I was having some issues with like my car like jerking back when I would change gears. specifically going into reverse. So they fixed something on the transmission also for free. I can't remember the exact thing it was, but I've had the car for over I've had the car now for a little over 2 years, and it has been in the shop. Engine, transmission, purge file. It's been in the shop about 4 times. And so now I'm scared. So I was strolling on Instagram one day, and I found this law firm that did like lemon laws. And so I didn't think much of it. I just said, hey, let me just call and see what I can do, what I can get. And so, because I wasn't in it for like, I didn't think I was going to get like this crazy amount of money. I honestly was just doing it so that I can have some type of security in case this car ever, goes, like if the engine goes out again. I just wanted to have some money to get a new car. And I ended up, first of all, I ended up extending the warranty, because the warranty went out at 60,000 miles. So I ended up extending the warranty to like 120 miles. So I paid a little over $100 a month through the Ford extended warranty. And I ended up strolling on Instagram one day, and there was this law group that advertised, and they said, hey, have you experienced the following with your car? So I was like, yeah, I can apply for that. So I called them, and they took my case. They told me to send them the contract, the receipt, the registration, and every time that you send it to the shop, they wanted like a printout. And I did. Long story short, I ended up getting about $6,000 just because my car was in the shop for 2 months and I didn't have any transportation. I still don't feel like that was enough, but I really didn't know what else to do. But I kind of just use it as like cushion, so that I'm never without a car. Like, that's my biggest fear, is my car having to go back in the shop for 2 months and I don't have transportation. So I kind of just keep extra money from that little payout that Ford gave me, so that I can have transportation. Because that was like the worst experience ever, and it scared me from buying used cars. I will probably never buy another used car again, because the last car that I had was new, no miles, and I didn't have any major issues with that car for 7 years. And it was a Ford. It wasn't an EcoBoost. And that's another thing. Not going to happen again. But it was a regular Ford Mustang 2014. And I decided to upgrade. But little did I know I would get this. And I got it from Carmax in Texas. I want to say, I can't remember the city. But it's right outside of Houston. And it was, like I said, it was a Ford Mustang convertible. So y'all, I thought I was doing some. I was like tearing the streets up with the top back. It was all fine and dandy until that engine light came on. But pray for me in this car, because I'm stuck in a 6-year six-year deal. 2 years down, 4 more to go, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it the 4 years, so we'll see. I'll keep you all updated. But I wouldn't say don't buy a car from Carmax because everybody has a different experience. My friend bought a used car from Carmax, and she's had her car for about 7 years. Haven't had any major issues, but it is a Chevy Camaro, and I think it was I want to say it was a 2012. Yeah, and it still runs good to this day. It was a 2012, and I want to say she got it in like 2017 or 2016, but she's had it for about almost 8 years. Yeah. So everybody's experience is not my experience, but I personally wouldn't buy another car from CarMax. And I've also had another coworker that said she's only gotten good cars from CarMax. So I guess you just choose your car wisely. I don't know. Get a Chevy from CarMax, but don't get an EcoBoost Mustang.